Did you know that airport security agents across the globe discover approximately 4,000 firearms in carry-on bags every year? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. These staggering numbers might leave you wide-eyed, but they're a mere glimpse into the baffling world of airport searches. From the mundane to the downright bizarre, these searches have revealed items that defy belief. So, buckle up as we dive into the top 5 strangest items ever found during airport searches. Starting our countdown at number 5, we have a dead tarantula. Yes, you've heard correctly, it's not just snakes on a plane, but sometimes even arachnids too. This peculiar discovery was made during a routine baggage check at an international airport. The tarantula was found nestled inside a shoe, resting in a passenger's luggage. So, picture this, an airport security officer unzips a suspicious-looking suitcase, rummages through some clothes, and then, bam! She comes face to face with a tarantula. Although it was dead, its sheer size and menacing appearance were enough to give anyone a spine-chilling moment. The discovery of this 8-legged hitchhiker was quite a shock, not just for the officer who found it, but for the entire airport staff. The passenger, on the other hand, seemed just as surprised. Apparently, he'd packed his bags in a rush and failed to notice his unwelcome guest. The airport's wildlife control was immediately called to the scene to handle the situation. They confirmed that the creature was indeed a tarantula and, unfortunately, it was no longer alive. This incident served as a stark reminder that airport searches can yield some of the most unexpected finds. It also underscored the importance of checking your luggage carefully before travel. You never know what might be lurking inside. Yes, you heard it right, a dead tarantula. Let's move on to number 4. Coming in at number 4, we have a bag full of snakes. Yes, you heard it right, a bag full of slithering, hissing snakes. This peculiar incident happened at Miami International Airport. On a seemingly ordinary day, a routine luggage check turned into an extraordinary discovery. Airport security officers, well versed in finding prohibited items, were left flabbergasted. The scanner exposed a suspicious mass inside a passenger's bag. The officers, expecting perhaps a tangled mess of wires or a forgotten water bottle, were met with an entirely different surprise. Nestled within the bag were 18 snakes. These were not your garden variety garter snakes either, but highly venomous pit vipers known for their deadly bites. The snakes were coiled up, squeezed into small cloth sacks, each one oblivious to the chaos it was causing in the human world. Now, you may be wondering, how did the snakes end up in a passenger's luggage in the first place? It turns out the owner of the bag was a snake breeder who thought it was a good idea to transport his slithering friends in this manner. His gamble, however, didn't pay off and he was caught red-handed, or should we say snake-handed. The aftermath of this unusual discovery was swift. The snake breeder was fined and faced potential jail time for the illegal transportation of dangerous animals, not to mention the violation of airport security rules. The snakes, on the other hand, were handed over to a local wildlife rescue center where they were given proper care and shelter. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the lengths people will go to in smuggling prohibited items. It's also a testament to the vigilance of airport security officers who are trained to expect the unexpected. Imagine the shock on the officer's face upon discovering a bag full of snakes. But it gets even weirder. So stay tuned as we slither our way into the top 3 weirdest things found during airport searches. Number 3 on our list is a human skull. Yes, you heard that right, a genuine bona fide human skull. Now that's a bone-chilling discovery. This eerie find happened at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport in Florida. A passenger was trying to carry it on a flight, tucked away inside a pot. The skull was not just an oddity, it was also an artifact, an ancient Peruvian skull to be precise. The passenger, ironically, was an art and antiquities dealer. He claimed he bought the pot, unaware of its chilling contents. He was merely attracted by the pot's aesthetic appeal and its historical significance. But when the airport security x-rayed the pot, they discovered the macabre surprise inside, setting off a wave of shock and disbelief. Now, you might be wondering, what were the legal consequences? Well, the Transport Security Administration does not have specific regulations about human remains as long as they are appropriately packaged and meet certain criteria. However, this incident was far from the norm. The skull was not just a human remain, it was an artifact, potentially pilfered from its rightful resting place. The passenger was detained and questioned. The authorities had to bring in anthropologists and archaeologists to verify the skull's origin. After confirming it as an ancient Peruvian artifact, the case took a serious turn. The passenger was not charged with smuggling human remains, but he did face potential charges under the National Stolen Property Act. This law makes it illegal to transport stolen goods, securities, or monies across state lines. Additionally, the skull was returned to Peru, according to international laws regarding the repatriation of cultural artifacts. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the importance of knowing what you're carrying in your luggage, especially if you're an antiques dealer. Also, it highlights the extraordinary measures airport security must take to ensure the safety and legality of items passengers attempt to transport. A human skull. As bizarre as that is, our top two items are even more mind-boggling. So brace yourselves, we're just getting started. Just missing the top spot at number 2, we have a live Tiger Cub. Now imagine this. You're an airport security officer, and as you scan a piece of luggage, you see something that looks suspiciously like a large cat. You open the bag, half expecting to find a stuffed toy or a peculiarly shaped souvenir, but instead you find a live, breathing Tiger Cub. Sounds too far-fetched? Believe it or not, this actually happened. At Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi Airport, one of the busiest airports in Southeast Asia, a passenger's oversized suitcase raised a few eyebrows. Upon closer inspection, the security personnel were in for a shock of their lives. Nestled among stuffed toy tigers was an actual Tiger Cub, sedated and concealed in an attempt to smuggle it out of the country. The cub was estimated to be about 3 months old, and though in a state of distress, it was alive and thankfully unharmed. The wildlife authorities were immediately alerted, and the cub was taken into their care. In the aftermath of the shocking discovery, legal actions were swift. The passenger, a Thai woman, was arrested on the spot. She was charged with illegal wildlife smuggling, a crime that carries severe penalties under Thailand's wildlife protection laws. The smuggling of exotic animals is a serious and unfortunately a prevalent issue. Tigers in particular are a target because of their status as an endangered species. The black market for these magnificent creatures is alarmingly lucrative, which only fuels such illegal activities. The Tiger Cub in this case was lucky. It was rescued and rehabilitated, eventually finding a new home in a wildlife sanctuary. It serves as a stark reminder of the lengths to which people will go to exploit these beautiful animals for their own gain. A Tiger Cub inside luggage, can you believe that? Now brace yourself for the #1 weirdest item found during airport searches. And now the moment you've been waiting for. The weirdest item ever found during airport searches is a cannonball. Yes, you heard it right, a cannonball. This wasn't your typical airport find, to say the least. Imagine the surprise of the security personnel when their scanners picked up a spherical mass of solid iron in a passenger's carry-on. This classic piece of artillery, a cannonball, a relic of warfare from days long past, had somehow found its way into a modern-day airport. Why would anyone think to bring a cannonball to an airport? The mind boggles at the thought, doesn't it? But it happened. The passenger had discovered this heavy artifact during a trip and decided to take it home as a souvenir. A very heavy, potentially dangerous souvenir, because that's the thing about cannonballs. Even centuries after they've been cast and fired, they can still pose a serious threat. Some can still be live and capable of causing an explosion. In this case, the airport was evacuated as the bomb squad was called in to ensure that the cannonball was safe. The passenger? Well, they learned a hard lesson about appropriate souvenirs. They were detained, questioned, and subsequently released, but without their unique find. The cannonball was safely disposed of, ensuring no further danger to the public. A cannonball, a piece of history found in a modern airport. That concludes our countdown. So, what can we learn from these bizarre discoveries? It illustrates the paramount importance of understanding the do's and don'ts of packing luggage. Breaching these rules can lead to severe consequences, as seen through these odd instances. It's a wild world out there, and people try to travel with the most unusual things. But the onus is on us to ensure we comply with the rules. Remember folks, always double-check your luggage before heading to the airport. You never know what you might find.